When we see numbers with negative indices, we need to know what to do with them. We're often asked in exams to evaluate these, which means write them out without the negative signs. When we have a negative sign like this, that means we have a 1 over the top of something. Okay, it's always going to be 1 on the top because we have the minus sign, and then 2 will go on the bottom in this case. This power would then go down onto the bottom, but in this case it's 2 to the 1, so we leave it how it is. Same thing with 6 to the 1 minus 1, 1 over 6, and the last one, x to the minus 1, will be the same as 1 over x. This can get more complicated because you're asked to evaluate things like this. 2 to the power of minus 2, which would be 1 over 2 to the power of 2. We then need to continue this, which is 1 over 4. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. On the next line we'll have another example. 6 to the power of 3, negative, will be 1 because of the negative sign, divided by 6 to the power of 3, which equals 1 to 6 times 6 times 6, which is 1 over 216. Same kind of thing here. If we have x to the power of minus 2, we write this 1 over x squared. Can't do any more to that, so we leave it how it is. The other rule we look at is fractional indices. For example, 36 to the power of a half is the same as saying the square root of 36. The square root of 36 is the opposite of squaring. So we would square 6 to get 36, so the square root of 36 would be 6. Another example of this, 100 to the power of a half equals the square root of 100. This would be 10. We can combine negative indices and fractional indices to come up with questions like this. And this is getting more complicated, but the methods are still the same. The negative sign means we have 1 over something. The 25 still goes down there, but the same indice comes down as well. But we now know that 25 to the power of a half is the square root of 25. So we can write it out again, the square root of 25. This is the same as 1 over 5. If we try doing this again with another one, 100 to the power of minus a half give us 1 over something because of the negative sign, and 100 to the power of a half, which would be 1 over the square root of 100, and as we just discovered, 1 over 10. Okay. That's all.
Yep.
Thank you, go. Sometimes we see questions like this. Now, the indice here is 0. It's not 1, it's not minus 1, 0. Anything to the power of a 0 is always going to be 1. So 10 to the 0 is 1. X to the 0 is 1. 24 to the 0 is also 1. This never changes. All these three rules, the negatives, the fractionals and the 0 indices, can all be put together with the previous rules of adding and taking away when you're multiplying and dividing the base numbers. For example, 24 divided by
That's alright, just go from, for example, 24 and then we'll cut it.
For example, 24p to the 6 divided by 4p to the 6 includes quite a few different things here. First of all, 24 divided by 4 will be 6. P to the 6 and p to the 6 will be p to the 6 take away 6, or p to the 0. As we just found out, anything to the power of 0 will become 1. 6 times 1. In this case, 6 times 1 is 6.